Welcome to the Dope and Tape Show. I was struggling a little bit. I thought we were gonna go live on TikTok. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet. We'll get there someday. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining us for episode 26.
26, man. It's came a long way, you know. It just
Bam. All
came a
right.
long way.
So let me just verify that the chat is not going to be over someone's face. That's something that I'm going to start looking at right off the bat now. Boom. The chat is not on anybody's face. We're going to put
He
it.
likes to put it on my face.
We're going to we're going to put it right over here in the corner. Bam. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I couldn't figure out the TikTok. It was saying something about a URL. I'll figure it out another time. I was getting anxious because we were going to be late. So I think we're back on Facebook. I figured that out because that wasn't working for a while. We got returning guest Sal from Long
What up?
Island. Let's see how Facebook looks. Facebook's always a little bit janky. I don't know.
Famous last
Was
words.
live, was live, was live, was live. I don't know. If you're on Facebook and you're watching, great. Love you. Live on YouTube, live on Twitch. What's up, bros? It's Teague. Teague and Chris, like clockwork.
Y'all been working on anything fun?
Oh, I got lots of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys noticed, like maybe 7, 8 years ago, they started phasing out lead in all the brass.
Hmm.
So part of the after like the fallout of everything that happened over in Flint, there's a big revision going on to the lead and copper rule for the water suppliers. So I'm going through all of our tap cards that go back to like the beginning of our village, like to like the 20s. And I have to enter in all of the information into this like spreadsheet that's like 60 columns long. And then like luckily in 2014 when we had Saks metering, they did a meter replacement program. They were smart enough, they took pictures of all the work. So I could tell like when a service is coming through a wall, like through a foundation, like I could see it. I don't have to physically go and inspect it. I could just look at the
That's
pictures.
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Oh my god, I want to fucking gouge my eyebrow, my
But
eyes.
it's a lot of clicking and shit, right?
Oh, it's awful.
Who
It's
took the
awful.
pictures? Some old guy?
Believe it or not, this company all they hire is like Jamaican dudes, and
Okay.
they probably get paid like they don't get paid very well. They get paid by the piece. So like I think they were getting $7 for every meter that they changed.
Huh.
So like if a guy cranked out, 40 meters, he'd make over $200 a day.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. So
And
they were like literally 2014 iPhone technology. So a lot of the pictures look like they were taken on a goddamn potato.
yeah, that's what I was wondering how the pictures are. Blow all Bobby's here. The Teague sisters are on.
He's just
Love it. Hiya.
So
Starting night shift on Monday. I'm gonna have to listen to the show while hanging and banging. That'd be awesome. Hopefully the whole job site is the whole job site going on nights. You got to put us on the Milwaukee radio, all right, and then put us up loud, and I'm gonna talk shit to the Duck guys. What's up, Jobby? Bobby. Yo, what up? How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for joining us. Yeah, whether you're watching us live or you're watching the replay, we appreciate you.
Thank you. So what are y'all doing with those pictures? So y'all have all these shitty pictures, and then what?
well so it's weird, like when that company that did the meter change outs, they gave us a spreadsheet, in Excel, and
It's like covered
it
in dog hair.
basically it's like saved by account number. So like I gotta look at the spreadsheet, get the account number, look at the account number, find the date that they changed them, then go and like look in a batch of pictures and say like search for like September 14th, 2014. And then it'll bring me a folder with all the stuff that was uploaded on that day. And then I gotta look for the account number.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's luckily if I'm lucky, I'll get a bunch where they're all copper services and I don't have to put any information in. I'm just verifying the information. So I'm like, do. But like, I only got 100 cards done today, and it was like 2 o'clock, and I was shot. I'm like, I need a drink.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
That's
was shot.
fucking.
And then I come home to my wife's cousin. They rent my basement apartment. The After Hurricane Sandy, the contractor, when he built the closet in the bedroom, he just like he took 1x4s and shot PL behind it and just like pin nailed like 1x4s and then ran like wood across it. Well, that shit was like, yo, I'm taking the day off, and the whole thing fucking collapsed 4 o'clock this morning.
Oh no.
So
Oh,
I came home. I came home and I'm like, I guess I'm going to Home Depot to go buy metal shelving and everything to put in the closet.
wow.
I had a day. I had a day. Let me tell you.
Seems like a lot of clicking and looking.
That's all today?
That was all today. I came home. I pulled into my driveway at 3:45. Figured out what I needed. Ran to Depot. Came home. Took care of that. Went back out to Ferguson. Had to deal with some union stuff, and then came home, grabbed dinner, and now I'm waiting. Now I'm talking with you, fine gentlemen.
Man,
That's
I
it.
did nothing today. Nothing.
Nothing.
So no, originally on my schedule I had 3 hydrants. So this is we did the full flow last year, so this year I'm just flushing them. So I looked at them, inspected them visually, and then flushed them after getting the static. Took me all of, I don't know, 30 minutes. And I was trying to stretch it. So I just hung out there for like 3 hours.
All three of them were in the same site.
Yeah, right there. And
And
then
and those are what, privately owned hydrants?
yeah, yeah, because they're like condos. So they own that
Oh,
space.
so yeah, they own the water main inside their loop.
Yeah. And then I asked for some more work so I could get my 8, and they gave me 7 hydrants. And I was like, well, I mean, I just kind of I stretched my day for 7
So
hours.
when I do hydrant
Oh, that's
inspections,
Kyle. Look,
What now?
Lacon? The fuck is Lacon? Sorry, you got. I'm just talking to the chat. I'm
yeah.
my
So
buddy
like
on here with a fucking
when
weird
I
name.
do hydrant
Lacon?
inspections, I do 25 in a day. And I mean, it's a little different as a water supplier because I'm not driving around. I go on a block and I just go down the block. But we don't do a full flow test. We put a static gauge, a residual gauge on the side nozzle, and then we flow out the steamer, and we get our fire flow, and then we throttle it back, and
Are
then
you
we
doing ABs? Like you have an A hydrant, which you have, let's say one of those computer caps, which calculates the flow, and then you go down and flow them from each one. That way you get your static, your residual, your pedo, and you can.
no. So we don't use a regular pitot gauge on a 2.5. We use the hose monster, and we look, and it has a built-in pitot with like its own chart based on the size of the main valve in the bottom of the hydrant. So
Okay.
whatever that pressure. So like we have 4.5s and 5.25s in my district. So what I'll do is I'll open a hydrant all the way. I put the static gauge on the side, and we pressure test the hydrant first. So I get my static pressure, and then I shut down, take the steamer cap off, hook the hose monster up, and then I flow for 5 minutes at 100% open. As long as my residual doesn't drop to 20, I don't need to get another hydrant upstream or downstream.
Okay.
Dude, I would love to be in control of fucking blasting off a fire hydrant.
It's so much fun.
That'd be the high.
Oh, it's
Oh my
not fun.
Like one of
It's
my
god.
not fun,
favorite
and I'll
things
tell
to
you
do.
why.
You
I'll
don't
tell
like?
It's not fun because I've had them break. I've had them not shut off. Um,
That's fun.
I've had old nozzles that are leaded in. I've had them blow off and hit you in the leg. That's not good.
No, that's not good.
And then, like for example, like I started in this new village, they were very lax maintenance. So the first time I went around, I was like, "Well,
We're all
how are you
souped
guys
up.
doing?" So I generated like a list this long of stuff that needed to be repaired, replaced, total hydrant replacements. So like I generated a lot of work, and they're like, "Yo, you just cost us like 80 grand. Like you gotta throttle it back a little bit."
All right, I
Do you
just posted.
know now do you know what manufacturer you're dealing with? Like US Pipe, Weller?
Oh,
Like
hydrant wise,
yeah.
we have
Let me get this chat over here.
Clow Eddies, and we also have some Muellers.
Okay.
Every time we go to work on a Mueller, we usually just replace it. So we budget. We have a small budget. Our budget's like 1.2, 1.3 million. We budget $60,000 a year for just for hydrant replacements. So when we go out to bid every 3 years, whatever water main contractor gives us a price, it's he doesn't charge us T&M on a hydrant replacement. It's just a la carte. So he charges us. I want to say it's like $6,200 to replace a fire hydrant, and that includes the hydrant valve and a T. So I can budget that way. So that way I'm good for about 9 hydrants a year that I can replace.
The chat is popping off right now. Kyle, so Sal's from Long Island. Sal's on Long. My buddy Kyle's in here. He's on. He's on Long Island. They said Pretty Boy Brian is on boss mode tonight.
He's asking a lot of questions.
Are there non-union sprinkler companies in New England, with New England being so union strong? There's way more non-union fitters in New England than union, I would say. You figure my local's got like 1,000, and then 669 is kind of around, but there's so many non-union sprinkler companies because I mean, really, 550 is Boston and vicinity. Like we got a 30-mile radius where we're very, very strong, and outside of that,
669 seems like the redhead stepchild that no one wants. They just keep sending them
so
places.
like, so I obviously I work in Boston. I live in Central Mass. The sprinkler jobs that go on around me in Central Mass, if they're union, it's 669. But for the
Yeah,
most part, it's not. It would be non-union. You just have
that's
they're making a living too. There's a lot of non-union fitters out there killing the game.
it just kills me, especially like in like New York. Like you have the five boroughs, which is pretty much the city, and then you have Long Island. You could literally be on the other side of the street, and the pay scale is like 20, 25, $30 less an hour with the package.
Oh,
So
what, working in Long Island versus New York?
absolutely, all of the trade unions, they have you know like local 25 is Long Island electricians. They have an A, a B, a C, a D local.
Oh,
Same thing with like local 200 plumbers. They have like 200B is like environmental pump and tank work. I don't think they cover.
yeah, we have different zone. We have different zones. So as you get farther away, you could still do it. And the way that we compete is we take a little bit of a pay cut.
Yeah. So like,
Non-union. Oh yeah. So like so for instance, Fiore tests and inspects. He's like the service guy at a job that was built full union. The job was 100% union built. I was there. I was pushing my ladder through the snow. I talk about this place a lot. Um, has a lot of problems. He has a lot of problems over there. This dry system that dry system sucked. I'm not surprised it freezes all the time.
Union is probably reliable, huh?
But it's the union builds it. Doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna get to test it. It's you could have a non-union guy right in Boston doing testing, killing the game, baby, fixing all my blowouts.
yeah,
They'd
Yeah.
love to
I
hear about
notice in
that
like
place.
I notice in Long Island, like with commercial work, um, a lot of businesses, they're not like the property owners. They're not signatory contractors. They don't hire these guys directly. They just indirectly have no choice. Whatever outfit they hire is union. Happens a lot with the heating, with HVAC work, and it's kind of like a foot in the door because like next thing you know, like we did a Nissan dealership. We did HVAC in the shop, in the sales room, the parts department, the whole building. And then next thing you know, like United Service Workers comes in and they're like, oh, maybe the HVAC guys are in here. Maybe we can get them to sign up all the porters, and like all the porters and the car guys, like the guys that jockey the cars around. Next thing you know, they unionized, and the mechanics in the shop weren't union, so they ended up going union.
Kenny Cooper Lawn Life. First time tuning in. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. We appreciate
Now
you.
you
I'm gonna have to go check your lawn out because that's something I've been getting into the past couple of years, is the lawn.
so now you
Dry
you
system, wet system.
hourly plus like you're in a commission based kind of thing, right? Not really like a commission thing, but you have to like manage your own deal. Isn't that right? Your area?
So, well,
I got you,
so
Kyle. Hold on.
I work for a village. The village, most villages, they take all the money that they generate and then they whack it up amongst all the departments. So it kind of sucks because a water department could bring in, let's say, $2 million, and then the mayor's like, "Well, here's $1 million."
Right.
So like, there's a lot. It sucks. There's a lot of politics involved. So, uh, for example, all of my village properties, they don't pay for water. We have like huge ball fields. We have a sprinkler park. All this crap. It's easily 60, 70 thousand dollars a year in revenue that I don't have. Not only do I not have that money coming in, it costs me money to make that water.
Mm.
It sucks.
Okay.
It
That
sucks.
does suck.
And then they go to me, "Oh, you're gonna have to start paying for gas for your vehicles."
What?
Yeah, because we
Damn.
fill up in the garage in the back where all like the highway guys get their gas for their trucks. So we started doing this whole thing, and we're like, "You sure you want to go down that road? Because if we start paying for gas, we're gonna charge you for water." And then I'm looking at the electric bill, and I'm like, "Why do I have I'm getting a bill for a fifth meter? This goes back like 6 or 7 years. It turns out I'm paying for electric for the library."
Hmm.
So like now it's like it's a snowball, and it's just like, all right, well, you got to draw the line somewhere. You're playing tit for tat,
Yeah.
so it's hard when you have a lot of needs. You're trying to fix a place and bring it up to speed of 30 years of mismanagement, and we got
Chat
new.
is popping. All right, what's the difference
Probably
between
like
a dry system and a wet system? For asking for those of us who don't know. So, a wet system's always wet. It's usually filled with like 100 pounds or more. Some guys got low pressure. I'd like to have at least 100 pounds. A dry system is completely filled with air. Now they're starting to add nitrogen to keep the moisture out of it. And you have a dry valve, which is it's 4-to-1 ratio typically. It's holding back its water. The water's sitting there ready for the air pressure to be lost. The next question was, then is it got a time frame to fill the pipes and then spray? So you have to have water to the farthest point, which would be an inspector's test on that dry system, within 60 seconds of the valve tripping. So there is a little bit involved with setting that up as far as how big the system is, how much air do you want in it. When you open the inspector's test, that's going to have the same size orifice as the heads that are in there. So that would, you want that air to be able to deplete in time, but you also want to have enough air in there to hold the valve back. So the dry valve, the dry system is just always air. If you were to have then he asked if it was a chemical. So that would be like a pre-action system. You could add powder, you could add chemical, there's a whole bunch of shit that they could put into it. Um,
YouTube has a lot of explanations on this.
yeah.
I'm sure you can look up like Viking fire protection
Dry system's got drum drips, dog. But you
drum.
would you would still have your inspector's test off of the drum drip. You still should have a 45 with the same size head in there with the same orifice as to deplete the air as it would as if a head went off. And if you don't get your air in 60 seconds, usually you could put a T and put two of those heads there.
Yeah.
Bam. That's the quick explanation I got. It never says there's anyone on Facebook on this little thing that I got on here. There's never even a one. Bastards. Then people will like it and be commenting on it.
So we were talking about. Did you want to talk about standpipes or anything? Fire department operations.
You have some info on that?
Do you deal with the fire department?
Well, I used to be a volunteer fireman when I lived in Hicksville. Before I sold my house,
How
when did I?
how involved were you guys with the 241 plants? When people were to put in a building permit, were you guys
Okay.
involved with that?
So, in Long Island, like 95% of Long Island is serviced by volunteers. So each of the fire protection districts, they have fire companies, and then they also have the district. So like the district, they handle all the tax money and everything, and they have district employees that like work on the fire trucks, and they usually have a guy that's responsible for building inspection. So he goes out and does all the inspections. He looks at the fire sprinklers. He does fire alarms, handles building permits, anything that's like above his scope of work. He pushes off to either the building department or Nassau County Fire Marshal.
So pretty involved.
Yeah.
Is that like
Plus,
I
if
can
we
see that
don't,
there's a lot of I feel a lot of people on Instagram don't have a very involved fire department. Like their fire department doesn't give a fuck.
No,
And
no.
they're just
They,
getting
um,
away they're getting away with
so
not that means
so
that the
like in
sprinkler
Long
fitters have
Island,
less work. If the fire department's not pushing it, it's obviously less safe and there's less work for them.
we pushed any mixed occupancy like residential, like a 2 story or no, a 3 story like a multifamily dwelling has to have a residential fire sprinkler for a new
Yeah.
construction.
gotcha.
I want
Okay.
all homes to have sprinklers,
I wish.
like
I
they
think
do
they're
it in
trying.
Cali.
So they're
I've
pushing it
always said,
out. Yeah.
people always scared. Oh, if a sprinkler head goes, lets loose or whatever, someone hits a sprinkler head. I got news flash for you. You have a house fire. It's $5,000 worth of fire damage, $50,000 of firefighter damage. The last thing you want is firefighters in your house. Let that 50 gallon a minute head go off and keep a fire in check.
Those
So
men
that
are
way there's
so
less
and
for us
women
to
are
dick
so
around with.
excited to just blast that water into your house. Oh yeah, I also missed about accelerator or exhaust. Yeah, you could put an accelerator on your dry system to help get the air out quicker.
Yeah.
And we do prefer wet systems in a well insulated areas. They only put dry systems like in loading, you know,
Loading docks and
loading
stuff like that.
docks, parking garages, outside awnings. Oh, like in, down in the south where it doesn't get cold. They don't even use dry systems. They have all the wet pipe coming out of the grass outside.
Yeah, they even have their backflows, their 6-inch backflow devices, their double check valves or everything. They're at grade. They're not even
Minus 20
buried.
with the wind chill. This is my buddy that's a lineman. Lives up in the tip of Maine. Minus 20. Yeah, we had a lot of blowouts. Traveled
Wow.
all over, only chase storms. Of
So now,
course, Chris has got a lineman buddy.
how does a combination system tie in? Like with like, can you have a combination system with a dry system, like a combo standpipe sprinkler system and a dry? Because I
Yeah,
don't think I ever came across that.
the
They can do
dry
that.
the dry probably wouldn't be directly off. It would come off and it would be off of its own little leg somewhere, but yeah, for sure.
Oh, so like you'd have like your standpipe riser with your fire
Good
department
yeah.
connection, and then coming off of it, there'd be a branch with the
There'd be
Yeah.
one that kind of goes and supplies all that shit. It would supply your dry valves, any type of manifolds. It would run up and supply all those, and then you would have like your.
Yeah. I
And
One of the biggest things that we used to run across is people would stuff garbage inside the Siamese connection at the curb.
oh,
Mm.
that
I still
all
can't
the
believe
time.
it's 2023 and no one has figured out a way that's like foolproof, like easy to get, like easy access, but is also good at, you know, protecting the Siamese
You
connection.
have Knox boxes. So there's a Knox box cap with the key.
Yeah.
They have those, but that's really the only way.
Yeah. We have
Lord
not.
forbid they're brass in Atlanta. They're gone that
Yeah,
night.
So,
that
Yeah.
so my
just put
old
the
district,
plastic red ones. Crank
Uh-huh.
them in there.
yeah, my old district, all the fire hydrants had Storts connections on the steamer.
Okay.
The and but we used to just put like it was just a plastic like a dust cap that went over it, so like stuff wouldn't blow in the flapper, or if like a car rubbed against it, it wouldn't damage the
And
fitting.
people weren't hot about stealing it because it was plastic.
No, but the one town next to us, they put like they were forged aluminum, like really nice aluminum Storts caps. Someone caught wind that they were aluminum, and next thing you know, like they were just held on with a piece of wire rope. Someone was just like snip, 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 and took them all to a scrapyard.
Jack chain. You probably just fucking yank it. 25 per cap on a Siamese FDC. Just give them the red caps if you're in the city. Give them the red caps. That's crazy. Just leave it alone. Yeah, so even on a new build, you get a new build and you're building, we had standpipes all next to each other. There's times where, it's not they're not capped off or they're not blocked off, and you just got a bunch of grown children on the fucking thing, and they're throwing water bottles down your pipe. So
Oh yeah.
typically, before any time you fill a riser, just take that bottom cap off, take that bottom elbow off, fucking get all the trash out, because when they come out of the fire department valve and they go through your flow meter, it's not a good time. It's not
No.
a good time. You gotta
We
fucking redo the whole test again.
we had an engine. We were actually on. It was actually at a job. He sucked like a piece of like it was a chunk of like a rock or whatever, about the size of my fist,
Ooh,
and it broke through the strainer on the steamer connection on the engine, and he started sucking it into the impeller, and he chooched the engine. Not good.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was
damn.
like after the
Fuck.
fact.
Common in wood construction. Dry in the attic and wet above the ceiling, but below the attic. Yeah, there's a mixture. We mix them too. Where are you from, Kenny? Seems like you got hot and cold. You got hot and cold. Yeah, so lineman buddy Kyle, he works 120 days out of the year.
Yeah, he's probably stacking that paper.
Stacking the paper, kid. I'm trying to get him on here to talk to you guys about lineman shit. You guys gotta rile him up.
Yeah, I wanna hear about that.
I got another hospital job starting up. This one seems like a doozy. You go in, it kind of seems like it's going to be small, and you're looking out the window, and they're setting up a tower crane, and they're setting up a fucking exterior hoist.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
big.
next thing you know, you're
Those
like,
are
oh, I
two.
better find a good place to get coffee and eat lunch because
Oh,
I'm gonna be.
I already put a message into one of my homies that lives over there, and there's a breakfast joint right there, Mike's Diner. I'm gonna fucking be hitting that place up.
Yeah.
But they're like redoing a whole wing. It has like an
So,
interstitial space. You guys saw me crawling around putting cages on probably,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
they're gonna like demo that and I don't know, put high ceiling.
So
It seems
so
fucked
let
up.
me so Bobby, let me ask you, and you don't have to answer because it might be like sensitive, but is your contract that you work for, are they of the mentality of slam out the work, or we're gonna work nice like gentlemen and we're not gonna work ourselves out of a job type of company?
What, the guys that I work with in my company or the contractors we're working for at the hospital?
No, the guys that you deal with, the guys
Yeah,
you're working.
we're all a bunch of killers. You gotta make money. You gotta make the company money. I mean, what are they doing holding you? So
Well, there's one thing. It's one thing to make money, and it's another thing where guys try to do 60 hours of work in a 40-hour week, and next thing you know, instead of working for a year and a half or 2 years on a job, you're at the 9 month mark, and they're like, here's two blues and a pink.
yeah,
See you
so those
later.
are those are always known as just bench guys. The guys that say like leaks make weeks, and fucking anybody that wants to come back or make it longer, those are bench guys. They're not gonna be in the Bobby crew. We're
Mm.
gonna be crushing that shit, just because I like my job and I take this shit seriously. But I've been around those people. When you get on a big job, and it's like it sucks to say, but it's kind of like an old timer thing, that they want to make the job last a little bit longer until they know there's somewhere else. Where I was always taught that we need to finish this fucker and get to the next one.
That's
And
a
it's
good.
and it,
It's
and
a
it's
good
it's
I
worked
mentality.
very
get
it's
I
worked
get
very well for
both.
me.
I get both points of view,
Yeah.
perspective for
Like
sure.
don't go killing, like I don't want someone to absolutely murder themselves on a Monday and then be fucking dead on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like I'm not don't you don't need to be going 130% every single day so that you're burning yourself out. Just fucking honest day's pay for honest day's work for an honest day's pay.
I mean, I'm on the, you know, as a municipality, I'm on the client end of it now. But I did see it when I was doing HVAC work where they would just want more, 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 more. And some guys would just be like, I need a fourth guy, or I need you only gave me three guys. It's gonna take 2 days, because there's only so much work you can do sometimes.
Yeah, and then, until you're on top of each other. A lot of times it's the job site. Like the jobs nowadays, the contractors that are buying us are psychopaths. Like they just like they'll show you a date, you'll agree to the date. Then once you get moving, they're like, "Hey, so if we pay for you guys to come in Saturday, you guys cool with that?" And we're always saying yes because it's always double time, and they'll
Absolutely.
literally cut months off the jobs
Yeah.
because they just want it done.
Well,
Kenny's
I
doing
had
hospitals in the Chicago region. 150,000 square foot hospital. That's big, man. They're probably cramming a lot of fucking high tech shit in there.
yeah. I mean, I had a job where we hired a mechanical contractor. They won the bid, fair and square. They were like 50, $60,000 low bidder.
Yeah.
And they show up, they strip all the blacktop in the parking lot, show up with the excavator, strip it all up, make my site into a mud hole, and then they disappeared for 4 months.
Mm.
And then they ran into problems, and then they didn't want to rent the Connex box, so they stuffed all the material inside my pump house. They destroyed my floor. They destroyed my bathroom.
Who's
Did
this?
all, it was a mechanical contractor that was working for us.
Oh, yeah.
And
So
then they were like 7, 8 months past date of completion, and we had to go after their performance bond for liquidated damages, $1,500
ooh,
a day.
I don't ever remember being past completion. Like
But
we finished our hospital like I think we finished a month ahead of schedule, and they had us finishing 2 months ahead of it opening. That hospital's still not open yet. They're still moving shit in.
yeah, but your portion is done now.
Yeah, I mean we've been done, except for that it just all froze up. We had to go
Yeah.
back, but
Hey, listen,
shit happens.
it's
Better
it's
now
the
than being
building's
full.
responsibility to maintain frost
It's
protection.
better it happened now than when it's loaded with patients. That's what we were all saying, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Kyle
true.
says work your ass off Monday through Thursday. You do your job correctly and you get rewarded. Fridays for the boys. Bang it out and head home.
Fuck
But if
off
you're a
Friday.
piece of shit, you're
I
gonna
like
be there till 5 every day. Friday is for the boys. Heading home early, depending on the crew size, is always it's tough. It's tough. There's eyes everywhere, but
I mean, there's
breakfast on
cameras
Friday is
everywhere
usually a
now.
thing. You gotta run every day, otherwise we would have been pipe fitters. You gotta just stay. You gotta be quick.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way about Fridays. I tell my office, I was like, look, Monday through Thursday, I don't care. Send me to do whatever. But Fridays, like, be easy on me, you
Be
know?
easy.
Listen, the last shop I worked for, I worked with a bunch of old time plant operators, and they were like, "We don't touch anything after 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday, as far as like getting into a new project, unless it's like an emergency repair." And then Fridays, it's like, don't even look at anything. Go in, sign the books, take the readings off the pump panels, and do your paperwork, and go chill in the corner. You know,
Fridays for the boys, baby.
I mean, I'm lucky. Like, we're a small shop now, so like my boss is chill. He's like, work through lunch, leave at 2 on Fridays. I get to go pick my son up from school. I'm home before I would even be punching out on a regular day. That's
Nothing
all.
new after two. Yeah, that's
I
what
like that.
that's what it
After
always was.
the
But like two, we're doing 6 to 2, so two's wrap up time. So you really got to say like nothing new after noon. I think we got to kind of change that. New school.
after lunch. I do
Nothing
that.
new after two is like if you're working till 4, which is probably what Kyle's doing. Kyle's probably working like
Yeah.
some crazy ass
I
long
mean,
day. If you're working 6 to 2, then we're definitely not doing fucking nothing after two.
I used to, when I was doing pump and tank work, I used to work at some job sites. So, like Exxon Mobil, they wanted you on site 8 hours a day, no matter what.
Fridays are for the finicky dry valves. Fiore
Yeah.
says. Sprinkler Kid says they in Denver they require knock boxes, Knox caps. He's probably talking about the lock
Oh, the
caps that
sprinkler,
you were talking
Oh,
about in
yeah,
Atlanta.
Chinese,
I
yeah.
like them. I mean, I
I want to
like
see
them.
him. So what in the heat of a fire, the key? So I guess the firemen have that key, right?
You have to present that key.
So,
You
in
give them the
at
key, or
least,
they already have all the keys are the same.
so a
Uh,
Knox box key,
and they're
each
different.
each district has a Knox box that's their own key code on the Knox box key.
And all their buildings have the Knox box, and all
Yeah.
their
They have the
hose
same
valves
key
have
code
that
on the
Knox.
door, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
So because we used to put the box with the keys for the building.
Right.
So the Chiefs cars all had Knox box keys in them, and all the fire trucks had them. So if we were on scene without a chief and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, instead of waiting for a key holder for a water flow alarm or something, we can tell the dispatcher, and he could send a paging tone over the radio, and it would unlock our box in the truck, so we could take the key out and open up the Knox box.
Is something wrong with Instagram?
Why's that?
I don't know. Not one person has a story right now, and my little plus to add shit's fucking gone.
Oh, it just sometimes does that.
Well, I've been going crazy. I've been going
Doing it
crazy.
for the
I've been going
gram,
crazy
baby.
with the fucking. I've been posting a little bit crazy, so maybe they're coming after me again.
Are you
Emergency
talking?
Fridays are for emergencies. We don't do lunch either. I don't like lunch. I'm not a big lunch guy.
Oh, so yeah, so that's what I was saying. So when I worked for the environmental company,
Copenhagen and
Exxon.
water.
What's that?
This guy runs off Copenhagen and water at work. Chris,
There's nothing wrong with packing a lip and a cup of coffee.
don't spit in my fucking oiler. You'll never work for me again.
Oh God, I had a dirtbag that used to pee in the oiler, and I caught him
What?
one time.
Oh boy, yeah, you be gone. You be gone. You be
Yeah,
gone. Delete my number. I would block you. I would block you on everything if you peed in, if you did some stupid shit. You'd never work on on. I would never see you again in my
I
career. Guarantee
I
you.
hate on jobs where it's like you show up, you get set up, get your thread around, whatever, get your materials, you start working for 90 minutes. Oh, it's 9:15. Gotta have coffee.
Yeah. What the fuck? No,
15-minute coffee is never 15 minutes. It's always
no, it's. I mean, whatever. I'll give you coffee, but I'm not. We're not taking a lunch. I don't want lunch.
right.
The
Same thing.
Knox key is for the hydrant connection. Is a large key that's inside the building knock box.
Yeah.
Where does the buddy from Long Island live? You gonna go visit him, Kyle? Do you want his address?
Where does Kyle live?
Just wondering. I'm East Meadow, Long Island.
Oh, I'm in Freeport. I used to work in Hicksville.
He hears you.
Yeah.
Love it. That's it. We're all connected in Long Island. What's Chris? Political timeout, Bobby. Yeah, it might be. I might start. What was I gonna do? I'm gonna do a new Instagram and do like Bobby's News Network or something. I'm just gonna fucking flood it with all the shit that I. Sometimes I have a story going and I'll write a bunch of shit and I'm like, nah, you gotta delete this
Listen, when
shit,
you
Bob.
end up in Facebook jail, let me know. I'll put money in your commissary account.
And what?
Yeah.
That takes you out?
You can buy ramen and honey buns.
Oh, in Facebook jail? He thinks you're cute and wants your power
So
like
we're at,
rearranged.
we're at like
They'll,
what?
What?
they'll be like Paul Savino. You'll be cutting the garlic with the razor blade like Goodfellas.
Yeah, easy. What?
So we're at like 20 minutes till 10. So let's talk about some of the shit that's going on in freaking America, right?
Shamrock is gone. I'm out. Bobby News Network. Let's fucking go. So what about all these train derailments, dude? There's no way that
Not,
they're not systematic.
well, what there was two today that I
I'm
know
about to
of.
pull up a fucking map, dude.
One in Ohio, one in Texas, right?
Yeah, no, there was one in Ohio that was days ago.
Yeah. What was it carrying?
Ohio train disaster. It had fucking
Oh, like everything.
it had
Polyvinyl
vinyl
chloride.
chloride, and they said, "Oh, it's spilling everywhere. It's gonna get into our water. Let's light it on fire." So let me see. When did toxic release of chemicals from the to the train derailment in Ohio, right? And then on the news they're like, "Oh, we shot a fucking balloon. Oh, we shot another fucking balloon." They're fucking liars. The
Was it?
2023 Ohio train
They call it
derailment.
UFO. That thing looks so boxy.
On
It looked like
February 3rd, 10 days ago, bro. There's birds dying. There's fucking fish are dying. People are reporting sickness.
it's $11 a carton of eggs, and then
50
that's happening, and then Bill Gates is going to buy them all. You know, while the
50
chicken.
cars derailed at 9 o'clock at night. Sketchy. A town of 5,000 residents. 20 of the 141 cars were classified as carrying hazardous material, 14 which were carrying vinyl chloride. Other chemicals include a bunch of shit that I can't pronounce. Butyl acrylate, ethylacrylate, ethylene glycol, monobutyl ether, fucking the list goes on. Then you got Scott Buttigieg, he goes on there and he's like, "Yeah, we need to hire more people from the community to build these construction jobs." No, fuckhead. Tell us about the train derailments, please.
I
Yeah.
can't stand him.
I hate him. All I can picture is him with the tit outfit, breastfeeding his baby.
Hey Bobby, can you read that?
The quicker fucker upper. Yeah, I like when they got him on the thing House of Cards and it says House of Tards.
Oh God,
Fucking Biden.
we're doomed, man. We're doomed.
All right, so now let's go to South Carolina. Train derailment.
But I think it's just,
It's
think
systematic.
it's so in your face, and no one cares. That's the scary part.
16 hours ago.
It
I don't want to watch
it's
a
just
video.
some of it is just so blatant.
Two
Yeah,
more
exactly.
trains derail weeks after
Like
Ohio chemical spill.
blowing up the pipeline. That's obvious. Now we know it was the CIA and nothing.
Yeah, they had a
It's
big
like
mission out.
so
They had a big mission out there like
Well, listen,
3 or 4 months before they blew up the pipeline. That's Putin's pipeline, and he supplies gas, natural gas, to Germany and all of Europe. He was supplying them with 60% of their gas. And what does America want? We want to give them that gas. So Biden goes and blows up Putin's fucking underwater natural gas line.
well, if you
And
think
then
about
everyone's
it,
like, Putin's such a bad guy. Well, yeah, I mean he's doing bad things, but we're
nobody,
kind of we're kind of antagonizing him.
the government knows that we're not going to revolt. Hard times make soft men.
Yeah, when we're in that
Nobody's
shit.
going to revolt against the government. Look at all the shit that happened, 2 years ago.
This is
For
fucked.
the inauguration.
Yeah.
They stole the elect. Whatever. I'm not going to get into politics, but if there
No,
wasn't
it's
like
yeah,
uprising
conspiracies. Let's stick
about
with the
that,
conspiracies. And they kind of involve politics, but so they
you
went to
know,
go they went to go and review the Dominion machines in Nashville
yeah.
that were in the AT&T building. And then all of a sudden that building's on the news and there's a psychopath outside in an RV that's loaded with bombs and they blows the fucking place up the day before they're supposed to review all the machines to see if they were faulty. Suspect.
Hmm.
Super suspect.
And then one of the things too is geez, what was it gonna take? God, I had it and
Residents
it
wonder what
I
lost
mean,
it.
Bobby, you're from Boston. Why don't we go? Why don't we have a little tea party action? I I want to stop paying taxes. I don't get equal representation for my taxation.
Maybe I
how
want
do
this
I
in.
get out of this fucking shit? So then the other thing about this trains, I'm still not done with the trains. The one in Ohio particularly, and the town that it happened in, and the way that it happened, Netflix made an original movie about it last August. I just started watching it. I only had like an hour after I put the kids and then before the show started, put the kids to bed. So I started watching it. I fast forward through all the bullshit. I wanted to see how the train derailed and what happened. And they're like, it's a normal family. They're having dinner. The fucking train blows up and they all go to evacuate. That's what's happening in Ohio right now. Like play by play.
It's just so much right now that is, well, like one thing, like Twitter. Like, do you think anything's gonna ever really happen? Like, it's obvious now. They've just all been
They were
crushed.
crooks. They were all crooks. That's probably one of the best thing that could happen was Musk is taking that right down and showing all the emails and how many people from the FBI were actually just joining and working for Twitter and the CIA and they're all involved. And the CIA is what we're down there blowing up the pipeline, Russia's pipeline. All
It's
right,
crazy.
I was in Google, so I missed the chat. Oh Jesus, the chat popped off. Pull it up. Educate us. Ohio is Chernobyl. For real. How about Rosie O'Donnell shot down the last week in the sky when she went skydiving? It is killing pets, it's killing wildlife, and people are getting sick. Journalists are getting arrested. That's all fucking factual about that Ohio shit. There's a journalist out there trying to record it. They arrested him.
For what?
I'm a grass guy. How about that Super Bowl turf? It looked good, but it seemed like it was fucking slippery, huh? Can't we just have good old fashioned grass? Russia told Americans to leave their country. Hope everyone has ammo ready for World War III. China's about to shut us off from this. We're about to get kicked out of this fucking show
They're
right now.
messing with Taiwan a lot. You know,
Well, they want Taiwan. Why the fuck do we care? Taiwan's
they're
like in the middle of China. I mean, is it really
I mean,
up to
we
us?
do
Just
get
let
a lot
China,
of
if China
imports from
wants it, just let
Taiwan.
China take it.
it'll be a Vietnam situation.
But it doesn't have anything to do with us. I'm sorry. We don't have enough money. We just gave everything to Ukraine. We're fucking tapped out. Our
Well,
checking
like
account is max. We got not a dollar to spend for ourselves. We can't give it to anybody
so-
else. I'm sorry,
somebody
Taiwan.
was, someone was talking to me at 7-Eleven yesterday. We were talking about the earthquake in Turkey and
Let's talk about how
Syria.
the world is trying to make Russia look like the bad guy. That's what I'm talking about. And then
Yeah,
the earthquakes, the 8.2 8
yeah.
magnitude
What
2 days in a
all
row.
that money we spent, all that money we sent to Ukraine, it would have been nice to be able to listen. You want to earmark money for humanitarian purposes? I'm all for it. Always help
Yeah.
someone
Let's send it
when
to
they're down.
Syria when their fucking buildings are all falling down.
I mean, it doesn't matter because once we save them, they're probably going to come back and attack us anyway. But at
Darian,
least
are you waving goodbye or hi? She's like, fuck the conspiracies. I'm out.
Gotta
Oh shit. That's good.
go feed the horses, man.
Oh my god, I missed a whole bunch here still. They proved in 2020 they can control the world. For real. This is some real talk. I love you guys. All right, I think we like the conspiracies a little bit. I don't think the viewers have went down. Putin taught Bobby how to reset drive valves in Russia. What? I did watch the full send guys, the Nelk boys, go to Russia, and I mean, it looked lit. The place looks beautiful.
I don't know. If I go into Russia, I want to go with Bert Kreischer.
No, I want to go with the little guy, Hasbullah. He's
That's
driving a fucking 1,000 horsepower TRX. All he can do is steer. He can't reach the pedals, and like the guy that's fucking controlling the pedals is just flooring it for him, and he's like, epic videos of Hasbullah doing fucking burnouts in that thing. Brian looks like he could be a Russian spy. Yeah, I don't know if we vetted him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I was spy work, I probably wouldn't be, probably wouldn't be fitting sprinkler pipe.
All I know is there's a lot of dope and tape that is ignored, and which causes leaks. You got that right, Lacan. Lacoon. Lacan. What the fuck kind of name is that?
You know,
Listen,
Lacan?
has anyone ever met anybody that actually puts the dope on first and then puts the tape on?
yeah,
Yeah, me and fucking everyone around me, at least when I'm looking.
You know what? I
all,
think this is the last time I'm going to come on this show. The
What are you
fucking
doing?
tape
You
goes
do
on first,
no,
then the dope.
no.
And
I don't
dope.
believe it. That's
no.
not it. It's not for me. I want to fill the cracks. Fill the cracks with dope. Cover them up with tape. Send it, baby. I don't go around a million times. If you dope it and you go around a million times, I agree. It's awful. It's just all getting pushed off.
This is like what came first, the chicken or the egg.
3 perfect times around, and then that's it. And I kind of start on like I work my way down to the end, so it's really only one wrap. So it's kind of like I taper the tape.
So I
It's a
only
process.
take the first 5. So it's this 1, 2, 3 right there in the beginning.
Are you using white or blue monster?
White.
Nah,
Wait.
white's too thin.
Wait. Yeah, I
No,
want to be able to. I want to be able
I
to
go
crank it
like
with my.
this, and I'm like, 1, 2. Wait, hold on. Now I got to think about it.
Yeah, that's it. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but
Nah.
with the blue monster,
He's
up to
going
like,
around and around, and then he's putting some fucking. He got all these different dopes.
yeah, I do 3 and then dope.
Doped in tape. Yeah,
Dope, yeah,
I
no,
bet you're
tape's
probably
the
all.
dope.
Everything's. Then you put the nipple down. Everything's covered in tape. I mean, everything's covered in dope.
Nah, but I only put the dope on right before the
Just a
nail
light coat
gets put in.
of permabond. Foot
How about
PVC glue, basically. What? Foot
PVC?
equals PVC glue. What? Right? God damn spell check. Yeah, you're fucking me up, kid. First 2 threads. Blue is too thick. I agree. Half or 3/4 wide tape. Half. I haven't seen 3/4 wide tape in a long time. Jeez, killing the Christmas bonus with that shit.
Half to do.
No, I only use the 3/4 or the 1-inch tape on like
1-inch
3.
tape?
Yeah,
Holy
3
shit, we won't even be able to pay for the van anymore.
Yeah, that's all.
Listen, I have a friend of mine he's in the UA, he's in local 1. They have a freaking machine that puts Teflon tape on nipples.
What?
What?
Yeah,
How fast?
fast enough that they have.
How does
He
it flip? How
literally
does it flip the nipple? How does it grab the nipple and flip the nipple? And where's the nipples coming from?
he
Where's
puts it
the?
in the thing. It freaking brushes the nipple. He takes it out, puts it in the next thing, and it freaking puts tape on it. And he takes it out, flips it over, and does it again.
I think I'm faster.
I don't know. I'm pretty fast, but
I think I'd be faster than that fucking thing. And you can't include the human time of fucking every time he fucking grabs it and he's holding it, his timer fucking stops.
I don't know. He's also a dope. He's like a permanent apprentice. He's like 7 years as an apprentice. He knows he
You need a
literally only
tape
knows how to.
machine? If you need a tape machine, you ain't coming on my job. You gotta be able
Yeah,
to
but
tape
he
it yourself.
literally sits in front of a threader all day, and they just call
There
down
goes
to
your
the
Christmas
tape off
bonus.
for him.
I'm talking. That's about as bad as Bobby's pre-cut rods.
Ah,
Nah, I don't know if I never had pre-cut rods. Pipefitters got
I
pre-cut
order them
rods.
from Granger.
Pre-cut rods?
Uh-Huh.
What? Like a fucking 1-footers or something?
Like 3s and 6s.
I'll nip that whole bundle. I'll just fucking when it's in its saran wrap, just fucking boop, give me a whole section of 1-footers.
Yeah, but I don't use that much. So like when I do order it,
Just keep a bundle of 6-footers in the back of the van. All thread rod, baby, and then I just keep like a couple stragglers of 1/2 inch. Because how often are we using that?
you usually mostly 3/8 rod or
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Double O nines. Do you guys
Yeah.
use any Victaulics, Sal?
no, one of my plants had Victolic on the air relief valves coming off of the well casings, but it
So
was just to relieve air. But everything inside of the pipes is either inside the plants is either threaded or flanged.
Bobby, do you get to pick your couplings? Like, let's say you wanted some different ones. You get to.
Yeah. I'll put
You
whatever number I want and they'll come. 009s, 005s, 007s, whatever you want. You want Galvy? You want fucking. We got it. I put it on my list. It's going to come in a red onion bag. 009s are the best fucking couplings and they're in the bucket right next to my adjustable drops. That's it.
uh,
You know, it's about fucking speed. If you ain't fast, you fucking last. I don't know, man. If you're doing a new install and you're not using 009s, you are weeks and weeks behind me at the end. Guaranteed. There's no way. You're fucking taking your thing off, then you're probably gonna fucking grease all your
No,
then you're gonna
I know
grease all your
people.
shells, and then you gotta have fucking somebody up there holding it. You can fucking put your rubber on and
I know people that still build headers for boilers with black iron pipe fittings,
yeah.
or they sweat them out of copper. And I'm like,
Well,
buy a speedy header.
yeah, just buy a little
It's
manifold.
got the flanges. It's painted black already. Like,
Yeah,
give me a break.
we do our own fab
Oh, in the shop.
for like a little bit. Not too crazy.
you must have a big shop.
It's small, it's old school, but it's efficient. It's efficient. Like we got
Like,
we're
section.
threading all of our own pipe. Like if you got a bunch of like mains that need welderlets on them, we'll sub that out. But
Yeah.
if it's threaded, like we're doing it, and that's like most of the jobs we do. We'll still do screwed lines.
Yeah.
We're still putting in screwed lines. You know, I'm not using 009s for inch and a half. Like I'm using
I
009s on my mains. All my mains are 009,
I love seeing the commercial plumbers like when they have all the labs and the freaking the WCs, like they build everything in the shop.
and they roll it in on wheels,
Then they
bro.
take it apart. It
And they
comes in on a
bolt it to the
freaking
wall,
truck,
and then
and
they
they're just
pull the
like,
wheels off and send them back.
yep,
Legit. And they'll have like most of the plumbing already all no hub together, and
yeah.
then they just like put one of them on, and they just attach like a bunch of T's.
Well,
Everything's
you know,
prefab.
a lot of people bitch. They go, oh, it takes a lot of experience out of the guys in the field. Um, and I could see both sides of it because if you have a guy that's really good at layout and fabbing up, keep him in the shop. Because guess what? If you're in a climate controlled shop, you're not building shit in the rain, you're more apt to build it better than if
Hmm
you're dealing with the conditions out in the field.
And on the job site, nowadays it's all about speed. They want you to be fast. If you're not fast enough, you're gonna get passed by another trade, and you're gonna be fighting over them.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
last thing you want is the walls to go up. You want to be putting all your horizontal piping got to be up before the walls, and if it's not, then your bid should be double. Because now you need double the guys and double the lifts to go around all the studs, and it's all about speed. And you got to just fucking put on them 009s, boys. Until you use a bunch of them, I don't think you'll like them. Our
Yeah.
shop does full fab, so pre-cut rods are no big deal. Oh, real? Oh, yeah. Well, when I say we do full fab, they're not cutting rods for me. I feel like that they get fucked up.
So who do we have on Wednesday? So we're not having the show on Tuesday.
Tomorrow, Valentine's Day.
Wednesday.
Spend some time with your girls
I'm not trying to
or your
be
boys if you're into that
petty.
shit. We got Blue Recruit on the 15th.
That'd be cool.
Blue Recruit. I'll reach out and verify with them, and then I
Is
got.
one person coming on, or is it like several people?
I don't know. I got to reach out and talk. I got the Boston Plumbing Monster's wife's calendar. You guys follow the Boston Plumbing Monster? So I'm gonna start
His
using this.
voiceovers.
Huh?
I like his voiceovers.
Yeah, he's the voiceover king. So I'm gonna start filling him in on this calendar. Our next shows. Great idea.
Hey, listen, at $35 a clip.
Bam. Came quick. Um, so I have a bunch of people written down. Phil, Anthony, James, Joe. I have the Boston Plumbing Monster on here. I'd like to get him on the show so he can tell us about his voiceovers. I don't know how the fuck he does them so good. But those voiceovers are compelling, man. I watch his shit. It's funny. I
He
got
just watches himself work and he just
Brandon,
talks about he's
Manny.
doing it.
Let's see. I got Sal on this list again. we could have J Mac back on.
When
So
am I
and we're
back
gonna
on?
transition to Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
That's
Monday,
right.
Tuesday, Wednesday. It's a little much. We need a day off in between, and it also will help. Um, we'll be able to tell you guys about what's gonna happen on Thursday. We'll be able to talk about it on Wednesday. And we'll be able to talk about what's gonna happen
Yeah,
on
we have to
Tuesday. We'll
be
be able to
able
talk about it Monday.
we have to just be able to keep up, you know. It is a lot, and I think it
So
is. So
so our next available date is going to be February the 21st, and I have this list that says need to schedule, and I'll just start reaching out. I'll just start with Phil from New Zealand. I want to get him on here. I don't know if you're watching, Phil, but I know we were talking because I wrote your name down. And then
That might be
I got
hard with the
Anthony,
time
who's been
difference.
starting to post some content. Dude's building like 10,000 square foot mansions.
wow,
Um, I've never done that. I've never built a single family home with sprinklers. 10,000 square feet. That's fucking huge.
Oh,
massive.
it probably has a mechanical room in there like the size of my house.
I know. Let's see if I get my wife on there. She probably wouldn't do it. I gotta start sneaking her into the videos. She'd get all fucking mad at me. Oh yeah, we got. You got the plumbing chick, or you got there's a couple plumbing chicks that we got to get
Yeah,
on
there's
here.
still some chicks. We've been talking to them, so
Plumbing chicks. Any
Oh,
more?
you definitely got to get the littlest plumber or tiny plumber girl.
There's a couple of them. So
yeah,
DM me their names, and I'll write them down. Still gonna get Darian and her father on here.
yeah. So we were talking, and she was on top to him, and then it kind of just went cold.
Yeah, so no, we just gotta get him on. He's an older guy. He's loud. He's probably gonna talk over us. I don't know if we'll be able to get him to wear headphones. I was talking to her about that. We could just have her on. She could just maybe he could pop on. Maybe he could just pop on for a little bit and give us a little insight.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
old school guys are I don't know how fond they are of technology or Zoom or headphones or any of that. You're not wearing headphones, Sal, are you?
Nah,
Yeah.
just my laptop.
Comes out pretty good.
Yeah, I'm on the MacBook. I'm over here at Sarah's. I don't have like my whole
Yeah,
setup.
and you guys sound great.
Yeah. Did you give up on your mic?
I mean, it's there. I like this one. I mean, if I'm hearing from this one, I'll just talk for this one. I mean, I don't know.
I
Feel
just
like I'm
sent
more
you two.
official with my headset.
I
Yeah.
just sent you two plumbing chicks.
The littlest plumber and the tiny plumber girl, huh? All
Yeah,
right.
tiny plumber girl. That's Kelly.
Boomers. They get mad if you find a boomer and you call them a boomer, that's something that really makes them angry. I've done that a couple times. Or if they're on the cusp of being a boomer, like if they're very very close and you call them a boomer. So I just usually just
Like if
go. I'll just go with dad. Like if you're older than me and we're working together, I'll just be like, just chill, dad. You just
yeah, listen,
refer to the older guy on the job as dad, and it just
oh
fucking
pop, listen
it
pop.
just if they're being an ass, you just be like, all right, whatever, dad, and then they'll like it takes them aback.
You just ask him like, does New Balance start making work boots?
That's a good one.
Oh, that's
No
awesome.
Valentine's Day with the boys. Fuck, I wanted y'all to be my Valentine.
It'll be
Will you
cheap.
be my smelly
Sorry.
Valentine?
So on March 1st is a new video game that's dropping that I'm gonna be playing. I'll be streaming on my. I'll be doing streaming on my other account, my video game streaming account.
How do you have time for everything?
My kids go to bed at 8, bro. I don't watch TV. I
Oh
don't
my
watch
god, I'm
sports.
so jealous. My kids
I
never
watched the
went to
Super
sleep.
Bowl for the fucking commercials, and the commercials were garbage until I saw a fucking lady hanging on a sprinkler pipe, and then I had to pause it and go back and shit. And then it wasn't working, so I went to the commercial on YouTube and screenshotted it. But
The Breaking Bad commercial was pretty good.
yeah, because that's like the last show that I watched. So Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. But I stopped watching Walking Dead when the dude with the bat came. It's stupid after that. When the Chinese guy's eyeball fell out,
Well, once it started becoming like not about the zombies, like it started
like
like
what the
It
show
became
me
a
how you're
soap
getting
opera.
gas. Where are you guys taking a shit? Like I want to see the real fucking nitty-gritty of
yeah,
zombie
I want
life.
that.
Like
I want that.
not all the
Nah,
there's like political. They turned it into like a political show. Like the
I
politics of
really
the
liked
fucking
my top five would be Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't
I
watch
like
much.
the 100. I like that fucking apocalyptic shit.
Nah, if it's too far fetched, I won't watch it.
That random line in the middle of "Oh, we made it, boys." Yeah, right? A random line, and it looked like 3/4 by the way she grabbed it, and she just fucking. Why would they have an exposed line like that? You gotta watch Yellowstone, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm
Just
watching
like
Yellowstone
so that's
too.
the like you guys asked how I have so much time. It's like literally because I don't use the TV.
Well, I don't watch TV either. So
I'm not. I like shows or movies or none of that. I'm gonna watch. I listen to Audible when I drive, like Graham Hancock talk about like the ancient shit. But
Let's see. I listened to Joey Diaz in the car.
what do we
he's
got?
awesome.
Yeah, he's wicked. He's wicked funny.
He's like everyone's crazy uncle that you love
All right,
hanging
there
out.
we go. We just passed 1 hour in episode 26. It's been a
Awesome.
wild
Thank you
ride.
guys. Thank y'all so much for coming on. I'm enjoying this, man. And I think we're getting the hang of it. We still suck, but
Yeah. I
Thank
mean, considering I'm not really in the trade. I mean, I know a little bit about fire protection, and I'm on the water supply side of things, but
Water and
pipe is
pipes,
pipe, right?
baby.
So
Anybody
I
that
think
wants to come on. I mean, I'll have the lineman on. Whoever you
I
yeah,
want.
think the next time
have fun here.
I come on, we'll I could go over like how like the whole distribution system works.
Absolutely.
For sure. Well, I'll,
I don't really
I
know
have
how to
you. I
like.
have you at the bottom of my need to schedule again. So we'll get a bunch of new people in. Listen, if you watch us and you want to come on the show, we want to talk to you. No questions asked.
Absolutely.
Just fucking let us know. I'll put you on the schedule. We'll get you on this calendar. We're gonna get you on the calendar, the Boston Plumbing Monster's wife's calendar. It's like 30
Mrs.
bucks.
Monster, Mrs. Monster,
Mrs. Monster.
This is
Mrs. Monster,
Mrs. Monster.
not Monster, Monster,
Monster. Boston. I
Monster.
gotta go. I gotta find him on the city and go see him
All
sometime.
right, guys. I gotta run. Thank y'all.
Later.
All right, see y'all.
See you
Dope and
later.